There's no question COVID-19 has had significant impacts on the demands for City of Calgary services. For example, transit ridership is down almost nearly 90%. And the impacts of COVID-19 have required us to take significant steps with relation to the demand in our services. And unfortunately, today we had to lay off another 430 of our valued colleagues at the City of Calgary within the transit division. We will be ready to ramp up services. As you know, the province has announced on May 14th, we were looking to relaunch the province. And as we move to relaunch, we will monitor the demands for our services and ramp back up the services that we need to. We hope to get to a point that we have now laid off nearly 15% of our workforce to get to a pre-COVID state where we can bring those valued employees back to the City of Calgary. So those are some sad news today, but it's really important to know that we need to balance the demand for our services and at the same time be fiscally responsible, and we sometimes have to make these difficult decisions.
We did not do this lightly. We had a really hard look at our entire system, how many people were riding the buses and trains, and really wanted to be thoughtful and surgical when it came to those reductions. We have to remember with the physical distancing standards that are now in place, the capacity of our buses and trains has actually shrunk by about 70%. So the last thing we wanted to do was to put customers at risk, because on a daily basis, there's still about 100,000 of them riding. So we wanted to be really thoughtful about those reductions, but it doesn't mean that we couldn't take action. So we looked at our budget and the amounts of revenues, and we made the tough decision to make these reductions. And this will mean approximately 25 routes will be temporarily suspended. These were generally routes that duplicated other service, so we made sure that folks could still access the bus, but maybe not an express route or a bi-directional route. You'll also see on weekends and weekdays, there'll be some reductions in frequency. Also, there's about 40 routes that will end earlier, whether it be earlier in the evening, as early as 9 o'clock. Just we saw lower ridership levels on those routes. We will be monitoring the situation very closely with an enhanced monitoring of ridership and having a close look. If we need to increase service because of overloads, because of that social distancing, we will do so. And we're carefully monitoring the relaunch program to make sure that we can meet the needs of Calgarians. But it is a difficult day for my colleagues at Calgary Transit. I reach out to them and their families during this difficult time. And as soon as Calgary can recover, we'll welcome them back into the workplace. So
we know there are some key areas in the city that we continue to see large crowds, busy parking lots, and challenges with maintaining physical distance. In some cases, we've been able to mitigate those challenges by opening road spaces to pedestrians and cyclists or closing roads altogether. But in some areas, this just is not possible. The following areas have been very busy over the last several weekends, so we're encouraging citizens to consider choosing another location to visit or go elsewhere if you arrive at the parking lots are full. The areas that we'd like you to try and avoid: Sue Higgins Dog Park, Nose Hill Park, Eau Claire Promenade, and Princess Island Park. We have 8,000 hectares of park in the city of Calgary. This is a great time to explore some of those less used parks around the city. One area that's of particular concern to us right now is our skate parks. We've received many calls from concerned citizens about a lack of physical distancing. We will have to close skate parks if you aren't practicing physical distancing. And Calgary, this is up to you. This is the time that you can help us keep these parks open. Practice physical distancing, maintain 2 meters of distance between all users. If you go to a skate park and you can't physically distance when you arrive, you have 3 options. Go to another site, come back later, or wait off to the side until the park is available while maintaining that 2-meter distance. Community peace officers have been responding to calls, but our officers can't be everywhere all of the time. This is where we need you to work with us to ensure that public safety is maintained and we can keep access to recreation opportunities. Our parks ambassadors will also be visiting skate parks to reinforce physical distancing messaging and support safer use of skate parks during COVID-19.